Hello, everyone watching Google Day TV. Back again in our show, The Hidden Treasure in Agriculture, a program where you learn various things about agriculture and how to make money in agriculture. Many people are saying that they don't have jobs, but I want to tell you that through agriculture, you can make your own money without a lot of energy in it, but you being available and loving what you do will make you make money. Not even, you don't need to go sit in an office for you to make money. You just need to be in the field. So back again to our program. I want to welcome you back from the last program. We were looking at greenhouses, commercial greenhouses, and specifically the crop was hot peppers. And remember, we didn't finish up with everything. So today we've come back with the last part of it. We are going to look at the commercial benefits, look at the health benefits, look at how you weed, look at how you prune in this program, still on hot peppers. Keep it locked on Google Day TV. We love you. The backbone of our motherland Uganda is agriculture, which includes cultivation of different species of crops on both small and large scale, livestock and poultry farming of both domestic and other needs. Agriculture to some serves as a source of income, like the market vendors worldwide. The Hidden Treasure program is going to be a big platform to farmers, hosted and sharing the ideological benefits and skills of agriculture. Nafna Peace bringing you the Hidden Treasure Agriculture Show every Saturday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. here on Google Day TV. Okay, so now what is this for? Because I normally see it with the guys of poultry.
Okay, usually we want you to step into that treated water because if you're coming from another garden or another greenhouse that is maybe affected by diseases, the fungal diseases that we talked about, once you step in there, you have treated yourself or you have already vaccinated yourself, so you cannot spread it into your own greenhouse.
Okay, so
Yes.
that is another way. If you have no treated water here, that means you're spreading other diseases into the greenhouse.
Yes, if you don't have the treated water, that means you're spreading the diseases. Another thing goes to the doors. Yes, why we close the doors is also to make sure that we avoid the pests. Of course, pests could be even people. But more so now, we don't want the butterflies, the false codling moth that we talked about to come from the open field and it gets in.
Now you don't like the pests.
Yes.
How about pollination here?
With pollination, you have to do it manually every day. You just get a stick, keep on tapping the flowers, keep on tapping them, and then they pollinate themselves.
Now this is very big.
That
Isn't
is-
that hectic?
That is why you have to work hard to get more money.
Okay.
Or else you have to hire more people to do that for you.
Okay.
Yes.
So we just want to say from here right now that thank you for the previous information and welcome back to this next Saturday of still on the same thing. We didn't conclude the hot pepper farming, and I want us to conclude it, people to get the remaining part of the hot pepper.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I also welcome back our viewers. Yeah. And I also welcome you back into the plant sauna.
Okay.
I hope you'll enjoy it. Yeah. And thank you very much for the
Yes.
program.
Okay. So now, last time as we were in the program, if I've not forgotten, I remember we ended up talking about the pests and diseases, and you outlined them for us. And did you talk about how to prevent them and how to fight against them so that someone can get good yields? Because whenever they're in the garden, there are no yields, isn't it?
Yes. Of course, like we talked about, the first thing is what we have mentioned. You make sure that you avoid any entrance of further insects or diseases. Then you need to, to be careful with your spraying. Then also be careful about your seed. Yeah, where you buy your seed is very important. Avoid recycling the seed, especially if the first harvest had many diseases in it. Yes, you should avoid using the same seed from the same affected harvest.
Okay.
Or if you have a colleague of yours who's selling to you the seed, but their harvest was diseased, avoid that. Better get it from a known supplier that is genuine.
Okay, so which
Yes.
would be the best way with the seeds? Like, is it buying new seeds every time you're going to replant, or
To economize, many times you can get from the very seed if it was good, but sometimes it's not good to repeat the same kind of species, because when we do the pollination, the variety actually changes because of cross pollination. It gets mixed up. So this time you may get something which is different from your first harvest. So many times we have no option but to go back to the supplier and get the very seed that we planted first.
this manual pollination, is it the one we call cross pollination?
It can be cross or it
Take
may
it
be
back.
self.
Okay. Self pollination or cross pollination?
Yeah, it could be it could be cross or it could not be cross. It could be the same pollination in the same flower. Yeah, it depends.
Okay.
Because if you use a stick, you could pollinate within that flower. But again, if you're to remove,
Self.
yes. Now, if you're to remove that same stick from that flower to another
Next
flower,
one.
then now you're doing cross.
Cross, okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So now we want us to look at, we looked at various things in the last week's episodes, and now this time around I want us to look at weeding. Don't we weed in the greenhouses?
Weeding is a daily activity in a greenhouse. It is a daily activity, and when you're weeding, avoid using hose because you'll cut the roots of these plants. So usually we recommend that you use your own hands. You know, you have to also get a feel of your own plants. Yeah, they say the farmers' hands or legs are the best fertilizers.
Yes.
Yes, so you have to make sure that at least you can have some physical contact with your plants. Yeah, you uproot the weeds whenever you see them. You know, you dig around. Be careful not to hurt the roots of the plant. If you see that it is so close, just only emphasize hand picking. Don't use any tool for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a stage at which you say that at this stage we have stopped weeding, and at this stage maybe we are still continuing with our weeding?
With weeding, you do it right from the very day you put in your hot pepper until you harvest.
Okay.
We don't want to see any weed because, like discussed earlier, the pests hide in the weed. Also, these weeds compete with our plants for the nutrients.
Okay.
So we don't want to see any weed in the greenhouse. And perhaps a greenhouse has to look more smart. So we don't want it to have bad looking weeds. So you have to look at it very, very well. Sometimes what we do, we put in small stones, you know, to seal off the whole floor.
Okay.
Yeah, but what makes it, some people say, no, I don't want that because of the money. But in other words, it saves them the daily hassle of weeding every time. Yes, what we do, we put for you those small stones.
You use the stones to mulch.
Yes.
Is it like mulching?
Yeah, it is a sort of mulching for the greenhouse.
Okay.
Of course, it will look good, but because of that, weeds may not grow. And because also the stones are able to regulate the heat, you know, it becomes a little bit more user-friendly when there are stones inside there. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Then we're done with the weeding. Okay. After weeding, before I say that, how many months or how long should someone be expectant of harvesting, of bringing back what he incurred, like the capital starting to bring back? How long does it take for hot peppers?
Now, hot peppers will start harvesting at 4 months, but it could even be 3.
4 months plus the nursery bedding.
Yes, yes. So that means it's about 3 months after putting them in the garden.
Okay.
Yes, that's when you start harvesting, and usually at the end of the first harvest, you have got all your capital back.
Really?
Now, for example, such a greenhouse, roughly, it could be at about 25 millions, 25. But even here, you have about 2,000 plants. Now, each plant can give you at least 5 kilos,
Yes.
you know. So here we are talking already
One
of,
alone, 5 kilos.
yes, at the end of the harvest.
How
Yeah,
much is a kilo?
a kilo is at 2,500 minimum. Oh, that's the common price. It could be higher than that. Yeah, but the common one is 2,500. So if you have about 10,000 kilos times 2,500, this is about 25 millions. So already at the end of the harvest, you're getting back the same money that you put in.
Saying the first harvest, how many times do we harvest on the hot papers?
Now the first harvest, I mean the whole season.
Okay.
It could go up to even maybe 1 year, depending. Because usually,
This one plant,
yes,
you can be with this same plant until
yes,
1 year's period.
even up to
Harvesting.
1.5 years. But what limits for the greenhousing is that it grows tall and you can no longer operate. But in a field, it goes to up to 1.5 years,
And you're still harvesting.
and you're still harvesting.
With good yields.
Yes, with good yield. Yes, but now when it comes to harvesting, you need to be very careful when you're harvesting. For example, when you want to harvest, make sure you don't just remove from here. You know,
Okay.
you remove the whole thing so that
from the stem.
yes, so that it comes out like a lollipop.
Okay.
Once you harvest, let me give you an example.
Okay.
It has to look like this.
When you harvest.
Yes. Now, by any chance or bad luck, if you harvest and you get this,
Oh,
this is rejected.
why?
They take it. I think it is not fit for the market.
Okay, you have to take it with this on in
This
the market.
this is when they buy it
Okay.
from you. So by any bad luck, or you didn't pray in the morning and someone bewitched you, I don't know. If this gets off, that harvest is rejected, even if it is very, very
I
clean.
thought maybe this thing is soft. How can it be maintained? Like now, like for example, someone is going to export.
Now it is not so too soft not to keep being on. Usually, what makes it break is the way you handle it. Definitely, naturally, some will get off, but at least let them not get off due to your own making.
Meaning you have to be very keen when you're taking it to the market.
Exactly.
You again recheck and see
Yes,
those that are broken. You
Yes.
Put them aside.
yes,
And that is a loss.
that's a loss. So harvesting is for you to get the 25 millions. You have to be careful on every step, and harvesting is one of them.
Okay.
You could grow everything very well, but you harvest poorly or you transport poorly, and you lose out on the everything that you're going to sell to them. Now, when we are harvesting still, you have to make sure most suppliers don't want it very ripe. They don't want it because they have to take many days before it reaches the consumer in Europe.
Yes.
So they want it to reach the consumer.
Like at this stage,
Yes, at this is when we harvest it.
this is good for exporting.
Yes, when it is not so red, and it's also not so green. At least it has some
reddish.
yes, some reddish
that it's
or
ready.
yes, or some yellow that is coming on. Now, this is what you can take to the exporter, so that by the time it reaches the table of someone that is consuming it, it is at least red and not too ready. So those are the two most important things in harvesting. Make sure you remove it like a lollipop, as we call it. Then make sure it is not too ready and it's not also too green.
Okay.
The third thing is you have to look out for spots. Now, for ours, they don't have the black spots, so I cannot show you. Now, those black spots are due to the false codling moth that I told you about. Remember, it puts its eggs inside here, and it leaves a black spot. Now, for you, if you harvest and there's a black spot, and you give it to the exporter, and he also doesn't notice, and he ships it to maybe Europe or wherever, what happens is that as they are transporting it, the moth inside is growing.
Yes.
Now, by the time someone buys it in Europe
Cut.
to cut, he'll find a moth inside there, and you know how ugly that looks like. So that means that when we are controlling the pests, we have to be very careful right from the start. Okay, now the space that you need, for example, for such a greenhouse, it is a 45 by about 8 meters. Yeah, and usually,
In terms of open land.
Yes. Now, in terms of feet, that's about 135 feet. Yeah, because most of our land, especially in town, is by feet. You know, it is about 100 by 50 feet. Yes. So you can now relate. This is just slightly bigger than the common plot in Kampala. Yes. But in case you have maybe a 200 feet by even 50 meters, you can have 2 of these greenhouses, and then you can make the money that you said you want to make.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at market. Where do we get market? If I don't export to the outside countries, where do I get the market within?
Now, according to a market research that we did around in the markets of Owino, Nakasero, they will take the export market, will take the highest value. The best.
Yes.
I mean, the one we mentioned with the lollipop stick on it, you know, which
How about
is
size?
even size. They want the average good size, you know, that such a size is the commonest one, the best that they want.
Okay, this is the biggest size of it.
It could not be the biggest, but at least it's good enough.
Okay.
It's good enough. Yeah. Now, the best quality, considering all that, goes for export. Now, the second quality, by any chance, if the tip broke off, you know, if maybe it is too red, that one we take to Nakasero, we take to Owino, we take to Kaleri.
Okay, for them, you don't give them these ones that are with the like lollipop.
You can give them if you wish, but they don't consider it too much.
Okay, like
yes.
the exporters.
Yes, because for us here in Uganda, what we want is to eat it. So we don't care whether it looks good or not so stylish.
Okay.
Yes, so here in Uganda, the highest consumer would be Nakasero. Yeah, it would take the bigger percentage. Then Owino follows, and maybe Kaleri and others, yeah, depending on your locality, where you are situated. Yes, now, in Nakasero, all you need to do is wake up early morning, take it there, and negotiate with them, and then they buy it to you at a certain price. The same happens to Owino and Kaleri, all those markets around.
Okay.
Yes. Now, sometimes you have some which is not good enough for consuming when it is whole. Then we can think of making the powder.
Okay.
The powder is a matter of cutting it, drying it. We have solar dryers. Then you can make it, put it into a machine.
You dry here with using solars.
Yeah.
In this very place.
This place we don't dry with solars, but in other places we do.
Okay.
Yes. And what we can do after drying it, then we put it into a machine and make
Grind it.
powder. Yes. A kilo, according to the research we did in market, is 5 kilograms. Is 5,000
The kilo.
of dried
Dry
paper.
paper.
Yes, is at 5,000.
Okay.
So all this waste, the fudge that they call fudge,
Yes.
you can then dry it, store it, yes, and make the powder. Then you sell the powder.
Which one is the easier market to get? Is it of the dried or this one, the fresh one?
Of course, the fresh one. Anytime you
market.
take, yes,
Fresh has more market
yes,
than the dried one.
yes. But its challenge is that they may not buy everything that day. So that means it may get rotten.
Okay.
Yes. So now the powder can help you to preserve that which is ripe but not yet rotten.
Okay.
Yes. So instead of losing everything, you can now also make the powder. But in terms of readiness, the markets, can consume the whole fruits.
Okay.
Yeah. But in case of anything that is rejected, then you can make powder out of it.
Oh, that's another good option. There you don't go for a complete loss.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We call it value addition in agriculture.
Okay. Thank you so much, good viewers, for watching Gugude TV. As we have been looking at we've been in the first episode of today's program. And I just want to say, let us have a short commercial break and then come back with the last part of hot peppers. Don't miss it out. Stay tuned. We are going to look at the health benefits as you do grow this kind of crop, as you do grow the hot peppers for farming. Apart from the commercial benefits that I'm going to make money, and when I get money, I'll buy land and do this and that. What are the health benefits? And when you consume the hot peppers, what do you benefit in your body? Some of us are just eager doing the farming of it because we want to sell it out to the outside countries, but for them are benefiting, and as we lose health-wise. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. The backbone of our motherland Uganda is agriculture, which includes cultivation of different species of crops on both small and large scale, livestock and poultry farming of both domestic and other needs. Agriculture to some serves as a source of income, like the market vendors worldwide. The Hidden Treasure program is going to be a big platform to farmers, hosted and sharing the ideological benefits and skills of agriculture. NAFNAPIS bringing you the Hidden Treasure Agriculture Show every Saturday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. here on Gugude TV. Okay, welcome back from the short commercial break that we've been having. Remember, today we've been having two guys, and they're the ones we are having. Damba Kezala himself of the Damba Kezala Enterprises. He's done with explaining to you the garden things. And now we are going to be looking at the health benefits of hot pepper. You know, in this program, as we take you through the program from the initial start to the end, we don't only want you to look at making money in agriculture, but we want you to look at making food, the crop or the animal you are having on your farm, to be medicine to you, and not going to the pharmacies making medicine your food. So keep it locked on Gugude TV as we take you through the last episode of today with the expert in that part taking us through the health benefits of hot peppers. Thank you. You're so welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Gugude TV. I'm Mwanguzi Daniel, and I'm a nutritionist by profession. Many people don't know what nutritionists are, but we are people that treat people using food.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like the Rashidis and whatever.
Those guys, yeah. There are many of them in town.
Okay.
Just that I'm professional. So what's beautiful about today is that the pepper that we're talking about is not just a normal food. Like you said, food can heal us, but hot pepper in particular is something that is very peculiar with this particular topic that you're bringing on board. So I'd like to tackle it from this perspective. I'm going to make it a little easy. There are three functions. Hot pepper has health benefits. It treats humans, but it also treats other plants.
Okay.
Those of you who are familiar with organic farming, this very pepper can be used as an antifungal pesticide, something in the garden.
Okay.
So I've witnessed my friends who do organic farming. They just crush it and they sprinkle it on other plants. So
it's still fresh.
yeah. The mere fact that it's hot, there is a suggestion that it burns, but in actual sense it burns the bug. It's a very strong antibacterial agent, and I would relate it so much easily with the body. I think there is something that I want you guys to maybe get connected to. It's called capsaicin. It's the most active ingredient of hot peppers. You realize that every plant has something special about it. Now, capsaicin that is found in red peppers can't be found anywhere else.
Okay.
So I would relate most of the benefits to the body with capsaicin.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know it's a hard term, but you have to get it. Capsaicin.
Get it.
Yeah.
It's like a chemical that treats.
Yeah, the way you see that now capsaicin, I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples of things that have capsaicin. You know the robes that we usually wrap around our bodies
Like
when we get maybe sick or maybe muscle pulls.
Yeah.
Yes, so that capsaicin is got from all peppers, black pepper, red pepper, but in particular this one, since it's edible and it's not so sour or it's not very uncomfortable with the tongue, if you notice, if you've eaten this particular pepper, you can get that capsaicin into your body instead of rubbing. Now, the one that is in those rubs is got from the black pepper.
Okay, what you want to mean is
Mhm.
if someone is a consumer of hot pepper,
Yes.
there is no need of you getting the rubs to massage your body in case of any pain or the muscle pulls and whatever.
If it's a particular pain, maybe your gaucho or your Ronaldinho, you'll get a very strong pain somewhere.
Yes.
But if you're a sportsman, you get many pains. At some point in the middle of the game, someone hits you this side, and then at the end of the game, someone hits you. So you're not going to rub yourself with rub all over the body. So I'll ask you to just eat hot pepper after your match. Somehow you'll have that active ingredient. I'll mention some few benefits. That same capsaicin is something that I'll give you 3 functions. In the body, it's something that reduces serum, blood serum. Now you notice that our blood, when you bleed, your blood falls with a certain consistency. For some people, it falls with a very heavy thickness.
Yes.
For some people, it's really loose. Now, both extremes are bad. Now, what this capsaicin does is to try to hit the balance. Now, there are people that have high blood pressure, not because they're eating a lot of fat, but because their blood is really thick. So the heart has to really pump a little harder.
In order to make it more
Yes. So we are trying to reduce the risk of high blood pressure. So I will not say that this heals blood pressure, but I'll say it reduces the risk. In case your family has issues of thick blood, that would be a good remedy.
Meaning thick blood is not good for the bodies.
Yeah, because especially people that live in the cold environment, their blood tends to be thick. People that drive a lot throughout the week, if you drive a lot, you notice that you're closed into your car most of the time. So your brain reads the signal that actually there is less oxygen. So it will try to produce more red blood cells.
Yes.
Now, what capsaicin does is to signal to the body that no, you shouldn't produce more red blood cells. Now, if you do not intervene into your normal schedule, you may find that, I think a hot pepper is such a good remedy. That same capsaicin, when you eat it, there are people that really scratch themselves a lot.
They kind get like rashes.
And
Allergies.
sometimes you have skin rashes, not because your skin actually has those infections, but because there was a one-time infection that made you to scratch yourself and get scars or something. So there are many creams currently that are made from capsaicin. Now what they do is they don't just crush the whole pepper. They just pick out the particular ingredient and they mix it, and it will help heal those scratches.
Thank you so much for all that information. If you have a word, 1 or 2 to throw to the viewers out there, then we close the show.
I think basically people usually, everyone eats hot peppers, but I want people to eat it more intentionally. When you eat this, when it's overcooked, you may not get some of those functions. For example, the capsaicin that I talk about, when you overboil it, it may react with other chemicals within the food, and you may end up not losing it. So I'd like people to, when you're preparing your greens or hot peppers, try not to overboil them. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, good viewers, for watching Google Day TV. It's been our program, The Hidden Treasure in Agriculture. And I want to say that you do a great work of watching us on Google Day TV in the Hidden Treasure program. It's been an episode of, it's been a show of several episodes with hot pepper and in the greenhouses. I believe you've learned a lot. Or maybe if you have any question in you, something that you expected to hear and you've not heard it, please send in your comments or your questions to our Facebook page, Hidden Treasures, and also to the YouTube page channel, that is Nafuna Peace Hidden Treasures. And then also you can watch us wherever you are using your phone or your tab, wherever you have to watch us. You can go to the Play Store, download your TV, and then subscribe to Google Day TV. Start watching us wherever you are. We love you so much. Thank you for watching Google Day TV. Stay tuned until next Saturday, same time, 6:10 minutes to 7, and then to 7:30. We love you so much. Keep it locked on Google Day TV. I love you, my family, my viewers, my editors, my cameraman, my Anja. You do a great job. And everyone out there, whether you're in Uganda, whether you're outside Uganda, you do a great work of watching us on Google Day TV. Stay tuned. We love you.